Okay, you're at the Watchmen Way. April 28th, 2020. Dow was down 32 points. It's a matter of time, guys. Volatility, not so much today, but last several weeks. On top of everything else, you got to get your money out of the system. Stock market, bonds, money markets, 401ks, annuities, bank accounts. Anything on paper is going to zero. Get it out, get it into assets outside the system. Insurance. Think of this as insurance. Physical silver and Litecoin. Don't wait. These prices are crazy. It's under $46 for Litecoin. It's $45.87, so it's climbing. And silver's $15.19. Don't miss out. You'll kick yourself if you do. Physical silver and Litecoin. Anything you leave in the bank, you're going to lose. Figure it out. Do the math. It's better to have it in something that's going to be around after the collapse as opposed to the US dollar, which is going to be replaced with a gold-backed currency. Get on board, quick. Not much time left. Gold is 1721, so it's down a little bit, but still over 1700. I wanted to talk a little bit about faith. I was talking to a member earlier this afternoon, and we were talking about the Watchmen and how it all came about, and what it was like, the experience, that getting those messages. And we also talked about a lot of people have a hard time with that. And for the people that have been around since the beginning know that, I started this in 2014. 2014, God called me to be a watchman. God called me again about 3 months ago, give or take, to lead the revival of his church, the church that Jesus taught when he was here 2,000 years ago. Look it up, called The Way. And we were talking about those experiences and how I'm guided through this process. And we talked about the skeptics and how that impacts me and what I do. And it doesn't really, I for the people that have been around for a while, I encourage you to question everything, especially me. If you do, you'll find your faith will be strengthened, I think, by what you find. The thing that I like about Facebook, even though the censorship is horrible, and the good thing about this whole experience is it's all documented. You can go back from 2014 and look at what I was saying. It hasn't changed. I basically gave up everything that I held dear to me. Retired from a sport I competed in for almost 40 years. Lost my home. Left my wife. My health. Had a hemorrhagic stroke last year. Been one of the most difficult things I've ever gone through, but it's also the most rewarding thing I've ever done. I think what is going to help our movement, what we're doing here with the Watchmen and the Way, is going to happen in the next several months. As everything that God showed me, when I think it's going to, within the next 6 months, it's all going to be on view for everyone to see. You know, the worldwide economic collapse, we're in the middle of it, whether you realize it or not, we're in the middle of it. The draining of the worldwide swamp and the exposure and eradication of the satanic pedophiles that have ruled the world for thousands of years. That in and of itself is, well, it's a lot easier to sell today than it was. You can imagine talking about that stuff 5 years ago. You know, I understand the people who are skeptical, because I would be one of those people, especially knowing my background. You know, I was raised Catholic. I believed in God my whole life, but I didn't live by those rules, those typical, what you think a Christian is. You know, I did my own thing because I saw when I was 12 years, even though I was an altar boy, went to parochial school, was raised Catholic, I saw the corruption in the Catholic Church. I wouldn't have any part of it. I saw the corruption in our government. What gives me faith in what God showed me is they were the same things that I'd identified when I was a kid. He was showing me the things that I saw that were wrong are being corrected. And now, every day that goes by, there's more evidence that what he showed me is actually happening. I mean, there's no one, really now, guys, if you really take an honest look around the world, turn off CNN and Fox and all the other garbage, and get on some organizations that are really reporting, like Zero Hedge, and you look at the condition, well, of the world in general, but especially the economy, and you look at the things that are going around and the stories that are starting to come around about Tom Hanks and Ellen and Oprah, those stories are true. Those people, you know, however you want to classify it, they are indicted or under investigation. They aren't going anywhere. I believe their passports have been seized. They're definitely not traveling anywhere anymore. I think if you look at the hardware on their ankles, it'll be clear. This is all happening. It's like, you know, the proof is in the pudding. When these things happen this year, the things I just mentioned, there's going to be a flood to the Watchmen. Because the one great thing that we've done a really good job of putting out what our message is. You know, I think everybody understands what we're doing. They maybe don't get why, unless they dig in a little bit. That's not really important. They're going to know where to come when they all start having questions. And we're very close. Well, it's happening now. We're starting to see a natural progression of the volume of interest in what we're doing and the membership rising constantly. It's all pointed to what God showed me. This is all happening. The Catholic Church is going to come down in 2020. The Pope will resign in 2020. The Catholic Church is going to collapse from the inside, leaving 1.2 billion Catholics with no home and the way right in front of them. It's what the world needs at a time when people are going to be starved to get back their spirituality, to get back to those roots, you know, to the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, when people were much more in tune, I think, spiritually and socially. You know, we were much, you know, it's kind of crazy when you think about it, but we were much better off back then. We were more connected, personal connection back then. Yeah, sure, we can talk to a heck of a lot more people today. And really, I can't listen. The tools that they've provided us to attack them with, I really appreciate. Um, but it's led to kind of a disconnect socially, and that's the beauty of what's happening right now. Is that we are, because of this process, and now, you know, the lockdown, whatever you want to call it, the shutdown of the worldwide economy, it's allowed, for the first time in a very long time, people to just take a deep breath and stop their rat race, and it's giving them a chance, excuse me, to take a closer look at what's going on in the world. So again, something that the globalist used to attack us or trying to feed us is being turned back on them, because with this time, people are starting to look at the inconsistencies in how our government has operated, inconsistency on how the media reports things like sexual harassment and sexual misconduct and sexual assault, depending on your party affiliation. They're starting to recognize now that, wait a minute, maybe President Trump isn't the monster that the media has made him out to be. And they're going to, obviously, the world is going to know this, the true story this year. This isn't going to drag on forever. Depending on what your criteria is for this ending, you know, where we're at, you know, there's going to be a couple of things. When it's on the news worldwide 24/7, the worldwide economic collapse, it's admitted, it's reported. When they arrest Obama or Clinton is the other big shoe to drop, because then it's completely over. You know, these people who are still saying, you know, they're never going to get arrested. You know, there's a two-tier justice system, and they won't be touched. Those arguments go down the tubes, and that's happening this year. I think it's happening, could be happening right now. It doesn't make any difference. It's happening. It's happening this year. Don't stall. Don't, you know, put off prepping extra food, extra water, medical supplies, physical silver, Litecoin, ammo. You need all those things. That's the minimum. And then adjust that with your YouTube prepping sites based on your own personal needs and skill set. Getting back to faith, it's something that I think is going to be strengthened over the next couple of years, especially the next 6 months. as we come out of the cognitive dissonance. And again, before I forget, I'm hearing from members every single day about dealing with people in general that are lashing out. Listen, it's going to happen. It's going to get worse. As this sets in, the people who are awake, it's going to ease them a little bit, because we're seeing what we've been talking about for a long time. It's starting to happen, right? There's also, for me, there's some comfort in that. And there should be comfort in that for everyone. Because again, there's nothing to be fearful of. Everything that's happening is happening for the betterment of mankind. We could not continue down the road we were on. It had to change, or 7 billion of us were dead. And the last 500 million were going to be treated like a resource, a food source, an adrenochrome source. The things that are going to come out are going to be horrific. It's going to rock the world like the world has never been rocked before. These 3 events would be 3 of the biggest events in human history by themselves, standing alone. But the eradication of satanic pedophiles, of the elite, the Illuminati, the cabal, whatever you want to call them, it's mankind's greatest accomplishment, bar none. Because this is, oh my God, this is like Buster Douglas beating 3 Mike Tysons at once. That's what this is like. Should never happen. Should have never be happening. It's, you don't explain this without God. And that's where my faith kicks in, is every day now this is getting easier, because the things that he showed me are now being proven to be true. And all you have to do is look. Look at who went to Pedo Island. Look at the investigations going on. Look at all the sealed indictments. You can't explain this away. This is happening. And the more people that we help through this, we help understand this, we educate about why this is happening and how this is happening, it makes it easier for everyone. Because the panic and the chaos are what's going to get us. President Trump's on top of this. The NSA, military intelligence, the National Guard, the Marines, the Army, they're all on top of this. We're in control of how this impacts us. You're going to have a positive experience here, or you can have a negative experience here, depending on your perspective, depending on your position, depending on how you view this. If you understand that the swamp draining, and I don't know how you don't understand that that's an awesome thing, and that the satanic pedophiles are being eradicated, again, the economy is a tougher one for people to manage, I think, because they don't understand it. Again, and there's your knowledge. Knowledge will help people understand that for the average person like us, this is the best thing that's ever happened to us. If you saw it coming and you take the proper steps to protect yourself financially, physically, and spiritually. And it's by being prepared. Extra food, extra water, medical supplies, ammo, physical silver, and Litecoin. And again, adding to that. That's the basics. What we're going through now for me just proves that what God showed me was, this wasn't crazy talk. This wasn't my imagination. These experiences I had were real and true and changed my life forever for the better. I don't see any downside to that in anything that's going on right now. With the Watchmen, with the world, with the way. The Watchmen, the world, the way. I have to think about that one. Might be something there. Okay. So anyway, guys, this process is only going to strengthen your spirituality, strengthen your resolve, strengthen your faith. And from that, this thing's going to explode. The way is going to be the biggest religion by 2040. Within 20 years, the way is going to be the biggest religion in the world. Because God wants it, number one. Number two, people are starved for it. The world is starved for the way. It's what the world needs. And to me, the best thing that we can do as watchmen is set the example that the new church is not about what you say. It's about what you do. It's about how, just like the way, it's about how you live your life every day. The way is how you live your life every day. It's not just an hour a week. It's every single day. Tell the truth every time. Do the right thing every time. Live your life in the service of others. Treat others with respect. No violence unless it's in self-defense. No priest, no pope. I mean, this is the purest form of religion there is in the world. And prove me wrong. If I'm wrong, show me something else. But when you look at this, you can't knock it. There's no way to knock it. Because it's about as perfect as it gets for humans, right? We're never going to be 100% perfect. But when you look at what we're dealing with now, compared to where we're going to be in a year, with 90% of the evil removed from the world and the way explode, we're going to have a completely different world to live in. It's heaven on earth. We're going through, just entering the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. Just finishing man's greatest accomplishment of defeating this evil. Headed into man's greatest age, 1,000 years of peace and prosperity. Tell me again, why are you fearful? Why are you worried? Why aren't you celebrating? Is my question. I keep saying, we have to finish this. We have to keep pushing forward. But there's no changing the course of where this is headed. It's over. Any time now, day or week, we're going to be through this thing. And then the fun starts. Then we really start working with people who are now, instead of us chasing people down, they're chasing us down. That's going to be the dynamic. It's going to make it a lot easier on us, guys. It's a good thing. Jackson, Mississippi mayor suspends open carry law. Here's a good example. Liberal overreach. This would be thrown out in 5 minutes in the Supreme Court. Can't do it. But here's what you're seeing now. The good thing about this is all these liberal politicians are exposing themselves at a time when people have time to kind of dig and look about what's going on around our country and in our country. Exposing themselves for who they really are, what they really stand for. And it's not about helping us. It's about a one world order, one world government, one world currency, one world religion. It's about murdering 7 billion people. Look up Agenda 21 on the UN website. Papa Bush signed it in 91, I think. Bush 41. Well, I think Bush 41 is going to go down on an equivalent to Hitler. When people find out what this guy did in his career, starting with the Second World War, even before the Second World War, yeah, and the things he's done, I think it might be worse than Hitler, actually. Again, best thing I can teach you, question everything. Use your critical thinking skills. Use your discernment. That's what God had me do when I started this. He had me dig, and I've been digging ever since. The more I dig, the more it proves that what he showed me is happening. And just to kind of clarify, it's not like I'm not hearing a voice. It's not like he's actually talking to me. It's more like telepathy, I guess would be the best way to describe it. It's like it's in my head. And then on top of that, I get, I think from a whole different experience. So that's happened twice, that God has basically come and said that he had things for me to do. But almost every day I get I feel like guidances from, I think, my guardian angels that kind of keep me on track and confirm things for me by leading me down a path that shows me the evidence, right? That's, in a nutshell, kind of how it happens. I'm open to anybody has any questions, want to talk about it. I'm open to that. You guys know how to get a hold of me. And it's something I never expected. And I'm starting to understand that it's been happening to me my whole life. I just didn't understand it. Didn't know how to describe it. Didn't know what it meant. Didn't know why it was happening. Now it's clear, right? I didn't know when I was 12. But here we are. And the things that, as a 12-year-old, God had me see are now being eradicated, are now being dealt with. Something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. I knew this had to happen when I was 12 years old. I knew the only way to have a chance of fixing this, tear the whole thing down and start over. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Can't make this stuff up. For sure. Okay. Why is Illinois broke? Because they've got almost 110,000 public employees with salaries over $100,000. It doesn't pencil. $14 billion it cost them, I think, a year. POTUS says virus reparations are coming from China. They're going to bill China, he says, $160 billion. Gotta love POTUS. If it was Obama, he'd be trying to figure how to send him a couple of plane loads of cash. Not POTUS. Here's a good one. Just days after the FBI belatedly produced possible evidence of General Flynn's innocence to his new legal team, his old legal team turned over 6,800 documents. Do you start to see the setup here? What's happening? His original, like I said a couple of days ago, they're setting these people up. Why would General Flynn hire a law firm that was connected to the Clintons to set them up. And now what they're having to show is that they had evidence. They're gonna go down. People are gonna lose their law licenses, and maybe some of them. This. Think about this now. They're going after the Trump administration. This was a concerted effort. This was, the whole thing, the FISA, what they're doing to General Flynn, was a conspiracy to remove the Trump administration. That's treason. I think there's a lot more coming, guys. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But General Flynn, 100%, will be exonerated. And heads are going to roll at the FBI and this law firm, his original law firm. Just wait. People are going to go to prison. People are going to lose their law licenses. Depending on how far they want to go with it, some might be executed for treason. Yeah, 6,800 documents. Yeah, and all of a sudden they appear when this other evidence comes from the FBI. You don't think the judge, he's going to go sideways, I guarantee it. They were trying to defraud the court. I mean, this is in a big case. You haven't heard the last of it. More than 1 million Americans are now infected by the virus. As POTUS says, we're through the worst of it. I think I've said that by the 1st, I think most of the country is back up and running. The Democratic states, the globalist states, are going to fight this thing. Here's what they're fighting for. Forget all the garbage, what they're going to say, why they're doing this. They're doing this because they want to have this impact the 2020 election and be an issue so that for people's health, security, they need to have mail-in votes. Not going to happen. This thing is going to be over before the election. There won't be any mail-in voting. There's going to be voter ID, guaranteed. If he has to write executive orders for the whole thing, that's how it's going to go. One person, one vote. Sorry, Democrats. Those old days are done. You're not going to get one more shot at it. How many millions of people, dead people, voted in the last election in 2016? Hillary Clinton didn't win the popular vote. When you take the dead people out, Hillary Clinton didn't win the popular vote. And you can't count dead people. I don't care what you want to say. And this is going to be a massacre in 2020. President Trump wins 90% of the vote in 2020. Can't stop it. Not a chance in hell. Money is running out. Vegas struggles to survive the shutdown. Money is dry, guys. There's no liquidity left. Washington Post headline, amplifies concern. Here's something you don't see very often. Amplifies concern over double standard on Biden sexual assault allegations. Didn't expect to see that from a mainstream source. But how are they going to stop it? The conservatives are getting too powerful. And you can't. Look at the way Kavanaugh was treated. You got to expect they're going to do the same thing to Biden. This is a guy that's running for president. What were they saying about it's really important. We got to really get on top of this because he's going to be on the Supreme Court. We don't want anybody sneaking through. Okay, now you got the president. He's running for president, Biden is. Listen, Biden well, it's going to have a hard time running from Gitmo. I mean, this is a non-issue as far as really, it doesn't make any difference what the media does. I don't think Biden's going to be around by I'd be executed by the 2020 election. He's going down for sure. He's got multiple treason charges, trust me. POTUS wants all troops out of Afghanistan because of the virus. Really, it's because he's not going to protect the deep state's opium ring in Afghanistan anymore. That's what it boils down to. Those days are over. That's why Afghanistan has been going for 20 years, because it's all about the heroin supply. That's it. That's the only reason. Everything else was a cover. It's all about the unity, guys. Pulling together. That means when these people start coming back to us, the liberals, the ones that were fooled, we have to take them back with open arms. No hard feelings. No rubbing it in their noses. They're rubbing their noses in it. We've got to be... we've got to accept them with open arms. We can't show any signs of resentment. We got to put it behind us because it's what God wants and it's the right thing to do. It's the thing that we have to have happen. This is going to be our chance to heal as we go through this rebuilding process. We're going to help each other through this. We're going to do the things that Americans do. When we're faced with tough times, we pull together. We've done it every single time throughout history. We're going to do it this time. And we're going to set an example for the world. The world is changing. This isn't just an American thing. The world is changing. The world isn't going to take it anymore. It's not going to take communism. It's not going to take corruption, manipulation, child sex trafficking, human trafficking. Those are all things of the past. We are going to be vigilant now. We're never going to let this evil come again. We will be there to stop it. And we're going to do it by working together. So, let's see what we got for questions. Cecil, how you doing? Kevin, what's up? Leah, hello. See, am I going this right? Wait, no, I got to go this way. Hold on. Tessie, how you doing? Joanne, Danielle, Matt, what's up? Shirley, hello. What's Missouri? Missouri's red, isn't it? Let me know. I was going to look that up today and forgot. Lucinda finally brought some silver. Good job. Donna, what's up? Libby, hello. There's Kevin, guys. Kevin, if you need any help with your silver buy, Litecoin buy, Gemini, Coinbase questions, Ledger questions, get a hold of Kevin. He's the director of our investment services. Write that down, Kevin. It's your new title. Ian, how you doing? No problem. Deborah, hello. Yeah, Washington's difficult. Listen, you're going to have a harder time in the liberal states, guys. That's why I'm glad I'm in Arizona and out of California. Because California, who knows when they're going to open back up. I think Arizona's going to be open this weekend. And we are planning to take advantage of Arizona being open this weekend. Amy, what's up? Deborah, hello. Paul, what's up? Good one, Paul. Johnny, what's up? Lots are going to Gitmo. Yeah, doctors are reporting that those who had the flu shot are testing positive for the virus. Explain that one, Bill Gates. Yeah, everybody's going to vote at the polling place. That's how it's going to work. That's how it should be. You don't have an ID, you don't vote. No more bullshit. Yep. Only the red states are opening. Oh, HRC is done. She might already be dead, guys. Honestly, I hope she's not, but she might already be dead. 3.5 million fake votes last time. Yeah, Biden is winning in the polls again. If you believe that, I've got a bridge in the Bay Area I'd like to sell you. In pretty good condition. I'll sell it cheap. Call me. 11 posts by Q today. Oh, that's the other thing. Schiff, a lot of stuff on Schiff. I think Schiff's going down pretty quick. Looks like it happened that it dropped like right before we went on, so I didn't have time to dig in it, but Lisa gave me some of the details. Check it out. A lot of stuff. Things are happening, guys. Yeah, I don't know if they'll. Well, listen, at this point, they got nothing to lose by putting Michelle Obama, uh, in as a VP. I mean, why not? Yeah, tell them she's a transsexual or whatever. You don't have anything to lose. Yeah, Clinton. Yeah, Clinton endorsed Biden too. Yeah, gotta love it. Yeah, heroin on the rise, but not for long, guys. And listen, here's the deal. You want to kill the deep state? Legalize all drugs. That's what's going to happen, guys. Here's the truth. You can't legislate morality. Um, I've looked at this stuff for years. My degree's in criminal justice. You're never going to stop drugs. You're never going to happen. People who were drug czars in their state or in their nations, children, their own children they couldn't keep off drugs. You legalize everything. You treat it as an illness. It's not as exciting when it's legal. Fewer people, you'll have fewer addicts. You'll have way less crime because people won't have to rob and steal and murder for their next fix. I personally, if that's how you want to live your life, burn your brains out, it's your life. Not my position to tell you how to live it. And I'll pay for the drugs if you want them. But don't come and break into my house, carjack my family, because you got to get your next fix. This is the rational, the logical, the intelligent way to look at these problems. Not with emotion, not with their agenda. You know, the people that pushed all these drug laws, you think they had our best interests at heart? They're the ones selling the drugs. It was all about controlling us, destroying us, eroding our values. It's coming back to bite them in the ass. But the answer is not criminalization. Anybody who's dealt with a drug addict or an alcoholic, it's a horrible life. And we make it worse by criminalizing it. No place for it in a civilized society. Things are going to be different. A lot of these things are going to change. We're not going to throw our mentally ill out on the streets to fend for themselves. We're going to end homelessness and hunger very soon. It's all about doing the right thing. It's all about the way. Imagine that. Okay, where am I? Well, many conservatives, Rhonda's saying, don't have a backbone. And they're true. That's a true statement. I mean, there are a lot of conservatives. You know, we let the left run over us. Well, not me personally, but some conservatives do. A lot of conservatives do. Just look at California. What they're going to find in California, there's a lot more, a way lot more conservatives than they thought, because people are afraid to speak out in California about their true beliefs. Wayne, how's it going? I'm going to go back here. Yeah, I'm hoping Missouri's red. It's where my youngest daughter is. Might be going to play or visit. Yeah, listen, China's done. The worldwide economy's done. The globalists are done. The IRS is done. The Fed's done. The CIA is done. 90% of the evil in the world is being eradicated. What else do you need to know? Barbara's asking if I've heard anything more about the indictments. I haven't heard anything more about the indictments, except there's a report many of you guys have sent me. It's been out for about a week, I think, that talked about Brennan and Clapper and Comey. I think all those guys, I think they're probably in Gitmo by now. If not, they're going to be there shortly. This is happening. I mean, whether it's today, whether it was yesterday, it's going down, guys. There's no, like I said, the virus was all part of this. They can't do another virus in 6 months. This is it. Missouri opens Monday. Good to know. New Jersey's closed till further notice. Yeah, expect that from most the liberals. Probably New York, Illinois, California are going to be all the same. Drag it out as long as they can. Eric, what's up? Julie, what's up? Cindy Lou, how you doing? Yeah, don't go to the hospitals. That's good advice from, is that Cecil? Yes. Listen to Cecil. Don't go to the hospitals. Unless you're dying. Jerry's talking about his experience. He remembers the exact date. I do the first one. The second one, well, whatever. It's not, to me, it's not really important. It's the experience, is, you know, what it means. what it changes. My sister-in-law Heidi, how you doing, Heidi? Well, hold on, guys. Don't assume that who you saw on Fox News is the real Hillary Clinton. I'm telling you, one of the things that's going to come out in the next several months, how almost every public figure has a body double, including President Trump, including Pence, everybody. Hillary Clinton, Ginsburg. I think Ginsburg's dead. I think Ginsburg's dead. Hillary Clinton might be dead. I don't care who you've seen on TV because it's probably not them. Look into that. Go to YouTube and search body doubles. The story is on Ginsburg that she died in January and the black hats got to her body first. Doesn't make any difference. It's all good. President Trump knows what's going on. It's all taken care of. Let's see. Yeah. Biden's going down. What's going to happen with Islam? That's a good question, Jeff. Islam's going. Islam, in its current form, is not compatible with our Constitution. Therefore, I believe most Muslims are going to be shipped home. Or they're going to go home on their own, because what they're going to find in less than 6 months is they're not welcome here anymore. You want to stay and go along with American values and with our Constitution. Not up to me, but I wouldn't have a problem with you staying if you want to be a part of our society. But if you want to play the Muslim infiltration game of infiltrate and overtake a society, that's not going to fly here anymore, because all of your cohorts have been weeded out. The Muslim religion is dead unless it goes through a revival, a revamp. But in its current form, Islam will not fly in America. Sharia law will not be allowed in America. Sharia law is not compatible with the U.S. Constitution. Therefore, Sharia law will never be allowed, and anybody who wants to promote it needs to be thrown out of the country. Because in my mind, it's sedition. So, get on board or get out. It's that simple. But the Muslim religion, Islam, is dead in America. And it's going to be dead in the EU too, I think. If the EU is lucky enough to have the strength to get them out. That could be a battle. I'm hoping God gets involved in that one, because they need help there. Okay. Yes, Barack Obama is homosexual. For those of you that did not know that. Yes. And Michelle or Michael Obama is a transsexual, transvestite. Schiff will be executed. Pelosi will be executed. Schumer will be executed. No question. Lynch, Holder, I think are going. Listen, hundreds are going to be executed for treason and murder, if not thousands. Tony, what's up? Tessie? Yeah, well, that's what Biden might be angling for, is a innocent plea because he's suffering from dementia. I don't think it's going to fly. Eleanor, how you doing? Stephanie, hello. There's a lot of blue states that are going to go red in 2020. Well, I think maybe all of the blue states are going to go red in 2020. Yeah. You don't cure your drug addiction in jail. Joe, how you doing? Bill Gates is going to hang for crimes against humanity. He's trying to murder 7 billion people with his vaccinations. That's who Bill Gates is. He will be hung. Newsom, I think, will be hung. I think most of the politicians in California will be hung. There's a lot of treason going on, guys. Scott, what's up? Go feed him, Kevin. We're good. Gary's asking about the 2 strains of virus. One supposedly hit the East Coast, one supposedly hit the West Coast. Guys, it doesn't make any difference. It's the flu. Trust me. Look at the mortality rate. This is not dangerous. This is not the pandemic they claimed it to be. The mortality rate is less than the common flu. Don't worry about it. If you're a healthy adult, there's nothing to fear from the virus. Just don't take Advil or ibuprofen. You'll be fine. Cowboy up. Sherry's asking body double or clone for these people. I don't know. I've heard a lot about cloning. I know they have it. It wouldn't surprise me. Amen, Kevin. Jerry the Welder, what's up, buddy? Tony wants to know what's going on with Kim in North Korea. All I can tell you is don't worry about it. It's good for the average American. This is a non-issue. President Trump will take care of it. They're probably going to do some maneuvering and get the person they want. If he is dead, and I've heard reports both ways, it doesn't make any difference. As far as an actor who has some potential future danger to us, Kim isn't the guy. There really is nothing we need to worry about anymore. The threats, I believe, all of the deep state threats have been neutralized, or the biggest ones, right? They still have the sleeper cells that may pop up here, but for the most part, I think it's over, guys. You're welcome, Paul. Tina. Well, listen. Listen, Islam is radical. Islam is radical. Islam condones murdering your wife if she's been raped. Islam condones bestiality. Islam condones raping children, raping little boys. Islam condones pedophilia. All Islam is radical by their own Quran. Read the book. This isn't like there's a different sect. It's in the Quran. All of this. Islam is not a religion. It's a social movement disguised as a religion so that they can infiltrate countries and overtake them. That's what this whole deal was about for 1,300 years now, right? Yeah. Stone your wife to death because she gets raped. So what do? You want to get rid of your wife? You pay a couple of thugs to rape her on the way home from the grocery store. Oh, yep, stone her to death. Problem solved. That sound like a religion to you? Not to me. Sounds like a bunch of savages is what it sounds like. Why do you think they don't want their kids to go to school, or especially their little girls? Because they don't want them to smarten up. Yeah, they aren't going to. Islam won't exist in America. I'm not saying Islam isn't going to have a place in the world, although I think eventually it will be shunned by the world because it's going to be exposed for what it is. And when evil is leaving the world and good is taking over, it's not a good fit for Islam. Yes, Gary gets really excited that Barack Obama's wife has a penis. Good one, Gary. Praying also, Heidi, all states to go red. Thanks, Chelsea. I just said what I thought of Bill Gates. He's going down. He's going to be executed. His money isn't going to save him. He's also going to be stripped of all of his assets. Executive order written 12/21/17. Any individual or corporation involved in corruption or human trafficking can't have their assets seized by the governments. That's why all these CEOs are resigning to try and protect their companies. Not going to make any difference. It's all being seized. Schmidt, Bezos, Dorsey, Zuckerberg, going to have all of them. Soros, Gates, all going to have their assets seized. Rockefeller, Rothschild, Paysours, they're all going down. Nobody is going to survive this. If you committed treason or you murdered a child, you're going down. Listen, this could happen in one election, guys. Think about this. In California, I have lost hundreds of friends who are Democrats. Not one of those people that I know personally will ever vote Democrat again because the Democratic Party is going to be directly tied to the globalists and the satanic pedophiles who've been torturing and murdering 800,000 children a year from America. That's just from America, 800,000 a year. Explain to me how any Democrat that you know is ever going to vote Democrat again. The Democratic Party, this isn't a joke, guys. I'm not exaggerating the situation to get a laugh. The Democratic Party's done. It won't survive this. The mainstream media is done. It's not going to survive this. They're going to be exposed for what they've been doing. And no one's going to accept that. You know, these people have been ignorant. They're not going to condone torturing and murdering children. Democratic Party's done. And everything could be red in 2020. I can tell you Trudeau is going to be executed. He's a pedophile. Trudeau's going down with the swamp. Patricia's son wants a clone now. You're welcome. Yeah, that's exactly. Sheep wearing their mask. No, Obama is not their leader, guys. Um, the leaders are the families, those the Rothschilds, the Peseurs, the Rockefellers. Those are the leaders of this whole deal. Obama was just a bag man. You know, he's a cheap hustler. We are, and I think, guys, there's going to be a huge resurgence in spirituality. We're going to go back in time to a simpler time, a slower pace. Both parents aren't going to have to work. We're going to be able to take vacations. We're going to make more money. We're going to have more free time. It's going to be awesome. They can't hide their assets. All the banks are coming down, guys. There's nowhere to hide it. They might bury it in a field somewhere, but they're never going to be able to spend it. I don't know, Gary. You seem to get a big kick out of that. Yeah, I don't know a lot about Zuckerberg's wife. I don't really care. Thank you, Roxanne. Have a great night. Pam, what's up? Democratic Party will be, well, they're nuking themselves. Yeah, Kathleen has got the point that I've made. This has to happen, I think, before June, July at the very latest. They can't let this drag into the election. That's why, and again, with everything, the virus and everything else is going around, makes me believe it's sooner rather than later. Yeah, most people don't know what's going on. See you, David. Okay, guys, that's all the questions. We're a little bit over, but okay. Got to be positive. We got to keep pushing till the end. Every person matters. Every day matters. Every minute matters. Let's keep pushing. Let's get as many people as we can. The more people that we red pill and prepare, the easier this is going to be for all of us. I'm going to wrap it up for tonight with our prayer for God and country. Amen. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.